Asia is also digesting the news that Donald Trump will return to the White House. The president-elect has promised to slap 60% tariffs on all Chinese imported goods. East Asia correspondent Kathleen Calderwood filed this report from Taipei.
China's leaders will likely be bracing for a ratcheting up of the trade war with the US under a second Trump administration. Donald Trump hates that America runs a trade deficit with China. He put a raft of tariffs on Chinese imported goods during his first term, and he's already expressed a desire to increase those measures during his second term. Now, this is terrible news for China, which is struggling through an economic downturn which is consuming domestic politics. But some still argue that a Trump administration is the lesser of two evils from Beijing's perspective.
The America that is more go it alone, America that is more isolationist in orientation, makes it a little bit easier for China, because China will find a lot less pressure to deal with America alone than to deal with America that can act in concert with friends and partners.
For Taiwan, this result signals a period of greater unpredictability. America is Taiwan's most important ally, and it really relies on America's support, and the size of its military as a major form of deterrence against any kind of aggression from China. But Donald Trump has swung wildly in his messaging around China and Taiwan recently, so Taiwan will now really have to prove to Mr. Trump that it deserves US support.
He thinks that Taiwan is wealthy now, and he also has been saying that Taiwan needs to pay more for the protection fee, for the insurance, for the U.S. to protect Taiwan. So he's a very transactional person. So I would think for Taiwan, we definitely would need to raise our investment on defense spending.
China and Taiwan will also be closely watching how Donald Trump handles the war in Ukraine. Mr. Trump has, of course, expressed admiration and friendship with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. He has also expressed an affinity for the Chinese President Xi Jinping, who he says is a brilliant man who rules over 1.4 billion people with an iron fist. So certainly for the people here in Taiwan and also American allies throughout Asia, they'll be very closely watching to see how America under Trump for a second term prioritizes its relationships and its interests overseas.